Hello, I, the Gradanian Envoy, am here to tell you that stuff has happened. So what's up? BMI is bullshit, but we knew that, but it's still bullshit. If you are not familiar, BMI, body mass index, is not good science. It's not a good measurement of personal health because it's not anywhere near individualized enough. It's not based on a good cross-section of humanity, and it's just been understood for a long time that it's not good. But now a bunch of doctor types got together and voted to make it official. BMI sucks. The American Medical Association got together and voted overwhelmingly to adopt a policy that just says, like, stop using BMI. More specifically, it says to stop using it over time because we don't have like an immediate replacement, especially for calculating population stats at scale. Like we don't have a good replacement for it yet. That doesn't mean it's good. We're going to look for something better. So doctors are being advised to just calm it down with the BMI stuff. Speaking of medical science, a research professor at the University of Cambridge, California has created the first synthetic human embryo. An embryo that was created without an egg or sperm. Instead, it used cultured cells from another embryo and stem cells. And a whole bunch of magic that I don't understand. Sort of a swirly, sciencey magic, but a magic nonetheless. To be abundantly clear, no one is proposing that we grow this into a full human, but it does raise a lot of ethical questions. Like a lot. Whoa. We're gonna need to get together and put our brains together real good to come up with some rules around what the hell to do about synthetic humans. I'm not a medical boy, so I don't know how viable this is, how quickly, but it exists now, and it didn't before. It also makes you wonder what the anti-abortion crowd feels about this. A boat carrying hundreds of migrants from Libya to Greece has capsized off the coast of Greece, and it's looking pretty bad. It's one of the worst wrecks of this type, and the really upsetting part is that this is not uncommon. This route is considered one of the deadliest routes for migrants in the world. People are in situations that force them to make essentially impossible decisions and gamble with their life on this trip, and they're crammed onto boats that are not even really seaworthy, and they're just absolutely packed to the brim, and then this happens. This is one of the bigger ones that has happened in recent history, but it's still very common, and it's heartbreaking. I'm sorry. I don't have a joke for this one, but it is a solid reminder that human beings are sometimes put into situations where they have to make decisions that you can't even imagine. Let's bring up the vibes again. Funny transition to make you feel better. Fox News ran a wild-ass chyron, and also, it's called a chyron. A chyron is the news headline that's like displayed at the bottom of a news feed on TV. Yeah, that's called a chyron. Anyway, so after Trump was arrested and did the court thing where he pled not guilty, he went out and gave a speech. And simultaneously, Biden was giving a speech elsewhere. Fox News did a split screen of this, and when they pulled Biden in, they ran the following chyron. Wannabe dictator speaks at the White House after having his political rival arrested. They took it down after a bit, and the Washington Post contacted Fox News and was like, what the fuck? And Fox's response to Washington Post's investigation was, we've addressed it. No further comments. Now, Fox News sucks and all, but I have no grounds to hate, because that sounds exactly like something that I would say on this show. But I am not a multi-billion-dollar network under journalistic scrutiny. I'm just a goober. On this day in 1976, the Soweto Uprising began in South Africa. It was a 2-day protest-turned-massacre pushing against the apartheid state. 10 to 20,000 black students marched peacefully in protest of being forced to use a different language in school to further the apartheid divide. The government wanted to make sure that black and white people were speaking different languages, just to keep them separate. And so these students were like, what the hell? And started to protest the unjust orders from the state. Cops showed up and released their trained dogs after the students. When the students killed one of the dogs, the cops started murdering them, shooting their guns into a crowd of protesting children, enforcing the will of a state trying to separate its people by law. 176 children were murdered by cops to uphold racism. This event caused a bunch of associated ensuing events over the next year. About 600 people are said to have died in related situations. This sent the country into political and economic turmoil and drew condemnation from everyone. At the time, it was the law that you were not allowed to photograph what police were doing, but some really brave journalists did that anyway. I've linked a documentary in the newsletter version of this show. I recommend you go watch it. Lightning round. A man shot himself in the leg while he was asleep because he dreamt about a home invader and had a loaded gun at his bedside. Wage theft remains a massive issue in the United States. Like, billions of dollars stolen from workers. Here's the weather. Sorry, that one's old. Here's the weather. Twitter is facing eviction from their office in Boulder, Colorado, since Musk has not been paying the rent. A Twitch streamer's car was set on fire by a stalker. PC gaming platform Steam has pushed out a big overhaul to their app. It's not going to feel like a big overhaul, but it is one. And you can take notes in games now. And finally for today, a single-person company making software to look at statistics for League of Legends has been purchased for $55 million. I want $55 million. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of Stuff Keeps Happening. Head to stuffkeepshappening.online for sources, bonus content, and a graduated cylinder. It graduated cum laude. My name is Endeavorance. I'll be back on Monday. Take care and be well.